So here I am in my back garden at Aroma Thyme, the back garden that I've had since 2012. The back garden that I went to the building inspector and said, this is what I want to do. I want to seat people in my backyard. I want to build a fire pit. I also want to build an oven back here. This is the same garden that the village building inspector has never ever given me a problem for, that he's encouraged. I went to the village manager at the time, Mary Sheely, and I said, this is what I want to do. And when she came back here after it was done, she was like, wow, this is like New Orleans and Ellenville. This is awesome, Marcus. You've done a fantastic job back here. Great job. You're like this private little oasis on Canal Street. So 2012, this has been back here since this beautiful garden. We seat people back here for special parties. The fire pit's there. So the building inspector, Brian Schug, is now claiming, as of 2016, that he knew nothing about this back here, that I'm doing this illegally, that this whole thing is illegal back here. So my question is to the village, how can you have a building inspector who has not been back here before and looked at this and made comments about it, who's come to my building every year once or twice and come and done inspections? The fire inspector, Carl Hinkle, has been back here. He's actually made requests. He's made requests for me to fix the fence that's back there. When the pieces of the fence start missing, they ask me to fix that. This is on record, people. This stuff is, you can't make this stuff up. So now the building inspector is just saying, hey, your whole thing's a violation back here. You're not supposed to be back here. So Village of Ellenville, how do you have an inspector who all of a sudden just forgets about something for 4 years, and now all of a sudden it's a sticking point? How in the world does this happen? I'm honestly in shock. So when Brian Schug came back here and to do an inspection and double teaming, this is where he double teamed with the health inspector. Again, the agencies double team. They call in another agency to really sock it to you. That means they want to write more violations. They want to crack down on you. They really want to bust you, okay? So they call in other agencies, and that's exactly what the Village of Ellenville building inspector did. He called another agency in on me to double team me. So my question is, how in the world did you miss this for 4 years? You've missed this for 4 years, and you've walked back here. You've stood back here. You stood back here when I did this fire pit. When you told me to cut the branches and line it. You have emails in your inbox from 2012 that I put on the screen of the last video, of you knowing about this with the drawing and everything. Now you're saying, as of 2016, that I never got approval to do this. My question is, if a business owner goes to the building department and says, here's a drawing, here's what I'm doing, I've completed the project. We even had a conversation about this tent. I told him what I wanted to do. He said, do with me a lighting plan. You need a lighting plan. And I said, Brian, it's a small tent. This and this. Do a lighting plan. So after I said, it's a 20 by 20 tent, he goes, oh, 400 square feet, Marcus? His exact words, 400 square feet, you don't need a lighting plan, just put it up. So my question is, Brian, why didn't you tell me then, you need to go in front of the planning board, you need to do this, you need to do that? Why did you just say, oh, you're good to go, put it up, have fun? His answer on this was basically, put it up, have fun. This is a great thing you're doing for the Village of Ellenville. And now all of a sudden, these are major violations that I have. So how can a building inspector give you the okay to do something and not give you the proper channels to do it? Because he's negligible here. He told me, yeah, go ahead, go do it. 400 square feet tent, you need no lighting plan, nothing. I do have lighting back here, by the way, and it does light up at night. And we really don't sit people back here at night. This is a daytime only thing. Walk around, you can see the fire pit, and it's really cool at night. But as far as us running food back and forth at these tables at nighttime, that never, ever, ever happens. So how can you have a building inspector who gives you the green light, and now all of a sudden 4 years later is saying, no, that's not proper. You can't do that. You never got proper. How do you have a building inspector who doesn't tell a business owner the proper procedures? The Village of Ellenville, this is crazy, Village of Ellenville. This is mind-boggling. You employ somebody that doesn't communicate properly and then goes back and busts them. This village is dying for business. I opened up in 2013. I was the only person on this street besides me and the Shadowland and pizza places and a Chinese restaurant on the other block. I started this whole restaurant row here because I was willing to take a chance and invest everything I had at the time of liquid assets into this property here. And to have the building inspector just keep busting me like this and singling me out. See, here's the problem. This information he's bringing forth now, he's selectively doing it. He's doing something that's where selectively using these. He's waiting till the right time to strike me. He's waiting the right time to launch this attack. Why couldn't he just in the beginning say, hey, this is what you have to do. Go get planning board approval from day one, especially on the fire pit. I went to him and said, I'm not building something that I'm not gonna be able to use. It's illegal. I wouldn't do that. I wanna make sure if I'm gonna spend $1,000 on this beautiful fire pit that I can burn it and use it. So when he did my inspection in August 19th, I think it was, I called the mayor twice. I waited 3 weeks to call the mayor, and then I called the mayor like another 2-3 weeks after that. And I said, Jeff, I don't have any written violations from Brian Schug, from the building department. Nothing was sent to me. I was concerned because he's back here busting me on all these things, these major violations. So I said, I have nothing in writing. And I'm concerned because I never got anything mailed to me. And he goes, well, if you don't have anything, then don't worry about it. You must be fine. You must be fine. So I'm thinking I'm fine. Now all of a sudden I get an email 2 months after the fact, that this is all illegal. That it's all illegal, that everything I've created back here is illegal, when he knew the whole time what I was doing. Village of Ellenville, wake up. This guy doesn't represent business. This guy does not represent local community. He's not a community guy. He's a guy who's just for the purpose of exposing, he's here for the purpose of his own agenda. He's here for the purpose of his power trip and his ego. This is all of his ego back here saying that I can't do this. Because you approved it. You said I could do it. You said no lighting plan. Put the tent up. Have fun. If that was the case, why didn't you tell me then? You need planning approval. You need this. You need that. Yeah, I gave you a drawing. It's in your email box. Check my other video. It's in there. It's in your email box. That you know, all of a sudden come back here and throw me under the bus in front of the health inspector. And you conducted the most unprofessional inspection that I've ever seen go down. Totally go down. Oh my gosh. It's just funny because I have everything recorded on cameras. The whole place has cameras here. I wish that I could just take that and use that video of what you exactly did to me that day and what unprofessional that is. And maybe I might need a time in court where I do need that videotape to prove what went on that day back here on your unprofessional, very unprofessional, unethical building inspection of my place back here. Village of Ellenville, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep him employed. I just really don't. He's a liability. He's a liability to the village. It's a liability to business. It's a liability to business owners. He's here. He has a personal vendetta against me that he's trying to use his power trip and his ego. And this is detrimental back here. If I had to close this down and had to cancel parties that I had booked back there, this is detrimental to my income. This is my livelihood that he's messing with, okay? This is totally my livelihood. But he's in his almighty power over there with no boss, because if you call the village and you get his job description, he reports to nobody. The village has this guy reporting to nobody. Look at his job description. There's no superior, there's no boss, there's nobody he reports to in that job description. It's the worst job description. It's terrible. Worst job description I've ever seen for a restaurant employee. It's just the worst job description. It's a cookie cutter thing off the Ulster County website that's been photocopied. It's so generic, not even tailored or anything. I give my job descriptions are so much better when I hire new employees. Their names on it, their starting dates on it. There's so much information on it that's tailored to them, who they report to, how often they get reviews, the whole system here. That his job description is a total joke, and that's a liability to the village. Ellenville, wake up with this guy. He's not good for business.